shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Today's the day we see some changes to the forecast. We're adding rain in for the afternoon and evening. I'll walk you through it on Futurecast.
Stealing from victims. A Siler City police worker has been arrested. The charges she's facing over accusations of taking thousands of dollars from domestic abuse victims. Plus, downtown closures. Today, you can expect some closures in Raleigh for the Hopscotch Music Festival. What you need to look out for as that three-day event gets started. A lot of people hyped for that. Can't say no to music, right? Thanks for joining us this morning on Thursday, Friday Eve on WRAL. I'm Chris Lovingood. If you are going to Hopscotch, one of the things we're looking out for is your weather forecast. Will things look great for you? Well, we have Elizabeth Gardner watching that very closely.
Yeah, so we're watching a cold front. Right now, you can see some showers and thunderstorms back into the mountains. Eventually, that arrives here, but it's a small chance. I wouldn't expect it to be enough rain during the evening commute to cause you any real problems. But during the evening, we may have some scattered thunderstorms, especially mid-evening up until around midnight. And then we have a second front that could affect us later in the weekend, and that one could affect your plans to go to Hopscotch or anything else you may be doing. So we'll take a closer look at that in just a little bit. We have clear skies this morning, and it feels comfortable again. Not as cool as yesterday. We were in the mid-50s yesterday, so around 60 stepping out the door in the triangle. 57 is our dew point. That still feels really nice. It's 55 in Roxborough, but 63 in Fayetteville and Clinton, 58 in Goldsboro, 59 in Rocky Mount. So it still feels great. If you're about to head out for a walk or a run, it feels wonderful. Our lunchtime temperature, though, on the warmer side at 82. That was our high yesterday, and we'll be in the upper 80s this afternoon. Hot weather in our forecast for most of the weekend. We'll check that out, too, coming up.
All right, we'll come back to you in just a bit there, Elizabeth. Thank you. A domestic violence advocate is accused of stealing from the people she's supposed to help. 57-year-old Gloria Maldonado worked with the city of Siler's police department since 2015. Now, according to an arrest warrant, she stole thousands of dollars meant to help people get visas. The visas are for protecting victims of abuse while incentivizing them to help law enforcement investigate or prosecute the crimes. Maldonado is out on bond, and she's due in court this month. A Wake County detention officer is accused of smuggling drugs to inmates. Investigators say 31-year-old Hillary Seekins was arrested at the jail where she worked. She faces charges including possession with the intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver cocaine and other drugs. Today, one of Raleigh's largest music festivals kicks off. We're talking about Hopscotch Music Festival. It will host dozens of bands downtown over 3 days. Let's bring in Monica Casey. She is covering that story for us this morning. Monica, people traveling in that area should be aware of some road closures, though.
Good morning, Chris. That's right. This is the 15th annual Hopscotch Music Festival. It's one of the biggest remaining music festivals here in Raleigh. Now, there are road closures you're going to want to watch for. Take a look at this one right here behind me. This is Fayetteville and Davie Streets. Now, take a look at your screen. We have a map of where all of these events are happening in Raleigh. I mentioned this road closure here on Fayetteville between Davie Street and the south end of City Plaza. You're also going to watch on Martin Street. That parking near Moore Square is reserved for the festival, and if your car is parked in those spaces, you will be towed. Now, today, the headliners are Earl Sweatshirt, Built to Spill, Unwound, and Frog. Single day or concert passes were not available. This year, it was 3-day general admission only, but there are day parties held every year that are free admission. My Morning Jacket performs tomorrow, and this entire festival runs through Saturday. Live in Raleigh, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
That's quite the lineup. Today, you have another chance to get a job working with the DOT. It's the second day of a job fair that's part of the State Transportation Summit at the Raleigh Convention Center. The DOT wants to hire 97 new driver license examiners for the DMV over the next 2 years. The DMV is making changes to solve the division's problems.
Having more employees will definitely help. That is an answer, but there's not a silver bullet for the issues that we're facing. Things are already getting better. Our numbers are up as far as how many transactions we're doing, but we know that that's hard to see for our customers, and so we're doing what we can as fast as we can to make that better for our customers. But it is going to take some time.
Now, here's the deal. If you are interested in a DOT career, hiring managers will be at the convention center today. That's from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. New this morning, the Powerball jackpot. It just keeps on climbing. It's now $1.7 billion after another drawing with no grand prize winner. The numbers for last night's drawing right there on your screen. You can see them right here. And it looks like we have 8, 23, 25, 40, 53, 5 on there. And the Powerball there is 22. Looks like it's not quite matching up with what we have here. So we're going to try to get that corrected for you. The $1.7 billion jackpot for Saturday night's drawing is the third biggest prize in U.S. lottery history. If you win and choose the lump sum cash prize there, that would be $770 million. You can watch Saturday night's drawing right here on WRAL right before our 11 p.m. newscast. In Chatham County, we're getting a closer look at tourism's impact in 2024. Domestic and international visitors spent nearly $86 million in 2024. That's an increase of 7.9% from 2023. The travel and tourism industry employs more than 690 people in the county, and the data comes from an annual study by Visit NC. WRAL confirmed the man accused of using a fake identity to get a teaching job, worked for one other local school. WRAL confirmed Gregory Pettiford worked at Wake Forest Charter Academy. We first told you about him last week. Lewisburg police say that he used a stolen identity to get hired at Cross Creek Charter School. Pettiford has several fraud-related convictions. A spokesperson says for Wake Forest Charter that a background check was done in accordance with state guidelines. In Cumberland County, a new pilot program to reduce homelessness is set to begin. County commissioners approved funding for a program that offers rental and utility help for people about to lose their homes. The program will run for about 6 months or until the money runs out. A Granville County man was confronted by a woman that he is accused of scamming.
I feel bad already. I feel bad.
You're not looking at me.
I felt bad when it happened.
You didn't feel that bad. You spent $30,000 that she sent you.
Corey Woodall of Oxford is in a Florida jail. He's accused of convincing a woman that she was helping a wounded military dog and a retired Army general. Investigators say she was being scammed instead. They say Woodall received about $60,000 and half of it was in cash. Deputies say that Woodall bought a car, a trailer, and a lawnmower with that money, and he is charged with an organized scheme to defraud and grand theft. This morning, Governor Josh Stein is meeting with his crime commission, and the commission will discuss traffic stops and a collaboration on human trafficking enforcement. They'll also talk about grant funding. And today's meeting is at 9 a.m. in Raleigh. The Trump administration is opening a new ICE prison camp. It'll be called Camp 57. That's at the Louisiana State Penitentiary. It's the country's largest maximum security prison, and it's known for poor conditions. In 2021, a judge found it was providing inadequate medical care to inmates, and it's expected to receive half its capacity of 400 men by the end of the month. The Trump administration wants the Supreme Court to overturn a lower court ruling. That's about his emergency tariffs. The lower court found the administration acted unlawfully by imposing many of the president's sweeping import taxes. The case could lead to a more clear understanding of the president's power to act without authority from Congress. A plane landing in suburban Chicago failed to stop on the runway. It went through the fence at the end of the strip. This happened at Chicago Executive Airport. The FAA says the plane took off from Baltimore and 2 people were inside the plane at the time of the crash. It stopped just feet away from a passing roadway there. No one was injured, and the FAA is looking into this. Survivors of a mass shooting in Maine are suing the federal government. You may recall a man went on a shooting rampage nearly 2 years ago, killed about 18 people, and that started a multi-day manhunt. Well, the lawsuit targets the Department of Defense and Army. Survivors accuse them of ignoring warning signs from the shooter. The shooter was in the Army Reserves at the time, and a report found the shooter documented mental health challenges there and warned the Army to take his weapons away. Today, the Durham Police Department is holding a graduation ceremony for 9 new recruits. They completed 6.5 months in the department's basic law enforcement training program. Today's ceremony will be at 3 p.m. at Durham Police Headquarters on East Main Street. Your time is 4:38 this morning. Ketamine queen guilty plea. The woman accused of selling actor Matthew Perry a fatal drug dose pleaded guilty to distribution charges. Her punishment during the search for justice for the actor. And Phantom Energy, your power bill could be higher by sources you don't even know about. How saving money could be as simple as unplugging unused devices from the wall. And you know what? We are seeing an end-of-week warm-up. Here taking a live look this morning in Durham. We've got meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, who is going to talk a little bit about how hot it'll get over the next couple of days and when we will get another cool down. Now, we showed you the wrong numbers there earlier, but we have since corrected them. Here's a look at your correct Powerball numbers. 3, 16, 29, 61, 69. The Powerball is 22. There was no jackpot winner last night. Saturday night's drawing will be worth $1.7 billion.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
443, taking a look at what's happening. A little bit warmer. You'll probably notice as you head out the door. 59 in Wilson, 60 in Durham, 63 in Fayetteville. It's not a big jump, but we're about 5 or 6 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Still going to be a beautiful day today. At lunchtime, 82. If you liked the way it felt in the middle of the afternoon yesterday, that's what we'll see at lunchtime today. This afternoon, though, temperatures will be in the upper 80s. So by 3 o'clock, 88 degrees. So it may affect the kids who have practice this afternoon, and especially this evening. If you have a late practice, I know sometimes my kids' soccer practice would go well into 7 or 8 o'clock. At that point, we'll be dealing with the potential for a few isolated thunderstorms, but I'll walk you through that on Futurecast in just a few minutes. Chris?
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. A woman known as the ketamine queen pleaded guilty in connection with the death of actor Matthew Perry. Jasphine Sangja pleaded guilty yesterday to 5 federal counts, including distribution of ketamine. She's set to be sentenced in December. She faces a maximum prison sentence of 65 years. Perry was found dead in the pool at his L.A. home in 2023. The county medical examiner's office there attributed his death to an accidental overdose. Environmental advocates say so-called phantom energy might be making your electric bills go up. Phantom energy basically is that wasted electricity consumed by just leaving things plugged in. Sometimes just turning off items in your house is not enough to stop that power flow. Climate advocates say that phantom energy can place unnecessary burdens on power plants.
CO2 is being pumped up in the air whether or not we're using that electricity or not. So if you're wasting that amount of electricity, in the U.S. alone, it's about $22 billion worth of waste altogether. And that's just money, resources that we aren't getting back.
Just some suggestions. Unplug your phone charger after your phone is 100% charged, rather than leaving it in the wall. Countertop kitchen appliances are easy to unplug as well, such as your microwave, that toaster. And then finally, you know that teeny tiny little red light on your TV? Yeah, that consumes power too. So maybe unplug that as well. A new study shows there may be a simpler way to remove those yellow stains in the underarms of your white t-shirts. So researchers with the American Chemical Society found higher intensity blue LED lights. They remove the yellow stains. The method is said to be effective at removing stains from orange juice, tomato juice, even sweat on some fabrics such as silk. They also found it worked even better than hydrogen peroxide. But scientists say more testing is needed. For the first time in the school's 115-year history, more than 9,000 students are enrolled at North Carolina Central University. NC Central welcomed 9,160 students this semester. That is more than 500 students over the enrollment from last year's fall semester. And as people are rolling into the fall semester, I mean, you're probably going to take a nice walk, at least early this morning, and things are warming up, though. Those fall-like starts, I know they're kind of, reducing for the week, but, Elizabeth, warmer temperatures on the way.
Yes, and that fall feel is coming back. I mean, it is September. Anything that feels like summer this time of year is going to be fairly short-lived, and that's what we're expecting. But definitely a warmer day today, mid to upper 80s for this afternoon. We also have a chance of a few isolated thunderstorms, mainly this evening. This is not something that's going to affect most of your day today. Then back to the 90s Friday and Saturday, but it looks like we could cool down slightly on Sunday. Just depends on the timing of our second front. First front comes in this evening, a second one late on Saturday. This is a look at what we're seeing outside right now. 60 degrees is our temperature in the triangle with a dew point of 57. And by lunchtime, we're at nearly 80 degrees. So again, feeling warmer than it did yesterday. It's 55 up in Roxborough right now, 63 in Fayetteville and Clinton. And the triangle, we're seeing upper 50s to low 60s. It's 59 in Holly Springs, 60 in Cary, 62 in Knightdale and Garner, and 57 in Chapel Hill. So it still feels comfortable out there, and it'll be a fine afternoon. It's just going to be on the warmer side. 88 in Raleigh, 87 Durham, and 90 for Fayetteville. We take a look at what happens after that. That's a little bit warmer than normal. Normal's 86. We'll hit 91 on Friday and 93 on Saturday. Unfortunately, we have a lot of events happening over the weekend, and it's just going to be hot for hopscotch and a lot of local football games. 80 degrees, though, on Sunday. If that front moves out as quickly as we hope it will, our temperature will drop dramatically on Sunday, and we're back to a feeling like fall as we get into Monday and Tuesday, too. 61 Monday morning, 59 Tuesday morning. But on Saturday, I mean, full-on summer all day. We'll start at 70 and end up with a hot feeling afternoon. Right now, temperatures are close to or a little below normal. Notice how we turn yellow by Friday, and that continues into Saturday. But this kind of holds on to some warmth on Sunday as well, and then after that, we start to see the cooler air returning. Kickoff off forecast for Duke and NC State at noon. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s on Saturday for those games. In Charlotte, cloudy skies and 83 for their evening game. Our rain chances look like this: 20% chance for today. That should be 30 on Sunday. That's mainly going to be for our southern counties. This is a look at today's futurecast. We're nice and clear this morning, and then later on this afternoon we'll have a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. But it doesn't really start until after the evening commute, mainly during the evening hours, say after 9 o'clock, and mainly up near the Virginia line. Checking that 7-day forecast again, hot for a little bit. We're going to talk about Sunday's potential for rain and cooler temperatures in more detail coming up.
I will take cooler temperatures. Thanks, Elizabeth. Construction worker punched. New video shows a man get out of his car and then hit a worker in the Charlotte area. How his crew was able to track down the attacker. Plus, an early renewal. It looks like a new The Office spinoff is already approved for season 2. A first look at the paper ahead of its season 1 debut today. You look outside right now, looks like the state legislative building there as you are waking up on a pretty comfortable morning. That fall-like start, though, they're gone for now, but Elizabeth says they will return. This morning, we're working to learn more about a crash in Durham. This happened on Miami Boulevard around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Sky 5 video shows 2 vehicles pretty damaged there. You can see her on your screen. We have reached out to police for more information on the crash there, and we'll report as we learn more. New video shows the moments that a driver got out of his car and then punched a construction worker in the face. I mean, you got to look at this right here. This happened Tuesday afternoon in Huntsville, just north of Charlotte. Caleb Johnson says that he was waiting there. He was waiting for a stop sign there in a work zone. And then moments later, get this, witnesses captured that driver getting out, walking up to Johnson, and then punching him.
I think it was crazy. I think the scariest part was he talked to me. He was very non-threatening, non-aggressive. And so I think it's really scary that despite being in that much control, the fact that he was still willing to hit someone, I would just really wonder why. Like, what did he think would be a positive outcome from that situation?
Well, Johnson's co-workers tried to block the driver in with road barrels, but he got away. The construction company got that license plate number and was able to track down the driver. Both Johnson and his employer plan to press charges. Online privacy experts are warning you to not share any photos with AI chatbots like ChatGPT. Any photos sent to these AI bots, well, they could be seen by others. High-resolution pictures could contain readable items like documents or credit cards just kind of lying on a desk. That information could be gathered and then shared. AI companies may also fail to strip metadata, out of images that reveal your location. A new spinoff gets a quick renewal. Plus, a movie first looks into a horror franchise's return. Here's Ashley Dvorkin with today's Hollywood Nation.
Trying to predict the future is a discouraging, hazardous occupation.
A horror series continues. Jackson Lamb gets back to work, and the paper gets another print in the Hollywood Nation.
Here is one of my articles I'm particularly proud of.
Peacock renewed The Office spinoff The Paper for a second season, a day before its premiere today. The Donald Gleason-led mockumentary series has the same documentary crew who filmed at Dunder Mifflin, now at a historic Midwestern newspaper.
I am absolutely killing him right now.
Apple TV Plus shared a look at season 5 of the spy drama Slow Horses, with Gary Oldman as Jackson Lamb leading his team of dysfunctional MI5 agents. Part 5 drops September 24th.
The Earth is where we make our stand.
Netflix has a peek at A House of Dynamite from Oscar winner Kathryn Bigelow. The thriller starts with a missile launched at the U.S., kicking off a race to find those responsible and a response. Stars include Idris Elba and Rebecca Ferguson. It's in theaters October 10th, then streams October 24th. Sony released a trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta. It's the next part of a new trilogy, which started this past June with 28 Years Later, returning to a world where threats range from the infected to the inhumanity of the survivors. The film is written by Alex Garland, with Danny Boyle as a producer and Cillian Murphy as an executive producer. The Bone Temple is in theaters January 16th, 2026.
That was Ashley Dvorkin with that. Rocky Mountain Animal Service wrangled an emu on the loose. Police were receiving reports about this giant bird on the run in the North Green area, but we know the animal is back with its owner. Police say that they were not amused with this, but they're happy that it has been captured there. All right, time is 4:56. Stealing from victims. A woman who works with domestic violence victims is accused of taking thousands of dollars. The charge is for a former member of the Siler City Police Department. Plus, better scores. Students across North Carolina are improving in school. The new data and what it means for the recovery from COVID learning loss. And Hopscotch Festival. Today, one of Raleigh's largest music festivals gets underway. The road closures and traffic impacts you should be aware of around downtown.